Joined now by our male high school athlete of the week, presented by Distinct Inc. It is Chance Johnson of Wichita West Wrestling. Off to an impressive start this year. Picked up a tournament win at Bishop Carroll's Invitational last week. Undefeated to start the season. Chance, talk about how the season's gone so far and how much you're enjoying your senior season.
It's going really great for me. Didn't expect for the start of it to be going off this well. Grateful for my season.
Yeah. And for you, what was kind of going well for you last week at the Invitational? What were you doing well? What was kind of the game plan going in, especially off that long break? What was the kind of the preparation leading into it?
I was just thinking, go out there and wrestle and have fun.
Yeah, and for you coming into the season, you were a two-time 6A state qualifier. For you, what was kind of the expectation coming into the year, and did you kind of expect to get off to this kind of start?
No, last year I was wrestling at weight class 215, bumped up to 285, so I wasn't really expecting it to go so great, but yeah. I'm glad it did.
Yeah, and for people who don't really know, they're the 215, and then it's a big jump up to 285, and it's anybody from 216 pounds to 285 pounds. How much of a difficult transition has that been for you? You're probably a little bit quicker than some of the more heavyweight guys, but how difficult is that transition for some who might not be too knowing of that?
It's definitely difficult. I'm giving up about like 40, 45 pounds. Yeah, it's a whole different way. You got to learn how to wrestle.
Yeah. And for you, how did you kind of go about that decision to increase the weight and go up to a different weight class, being at 215 last year, having so much success, and then deciding, I want to try something new this year?
Honestly, I was tired of cutting weight. So I thought I'll be bigger and stronger if I just keep to my normal weight and go at 285. So
yeah. And talking to your coach, this is a smaller team, having trouble filling out some of the weight classes. What kind of leadership role have you taken on for some of the young guys and gals on the team this year?
I'm one of the team leaders. Definitely a smaller team. Yeah, I try and help the whole room and show moves when I can.
Yeah. And for you, you're also on the football field for this West football program, have a couple of offers. How much help does it have having so much success wrestling, moving on to the football field?
It's a really great transition. Wrestling, I would say wrestling helps me in my position. I'm an offensive tackle. I'm a friends commit. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, we love the Falcons here at ESPN Wichita. And for you, what kind of skills do you feel like translate from football over to wrestling and vice versa?
I mean everything really. Wrestling helps in football hand in hand. They both go really well together.
Yeah. And for you, what went into the decision of committing to Friends and playing football there? I mean, they've had a lot of success over the last couple of years under head coach Terry Harrison. What kind of went into that decision for you to stay local here?
I've always wanted to stay close for school. Mm-hmm. Friends was just a way to do so. Yeah. And I like their program and their school.
Yeah. For you on the wrestling mat, what do you enjoy the most about wrestling? Like, is it throwing someone down? Is it getting a quick escape? What do you enjoy the most about wrestling?
Be honest, I like hurting people.
People forget it's a violent sport.
It's fun, yeah.
And for you, when did you kind of know that you were good at wrestling or even good at football, really? When did it kind of click for you, things start to fall into place?
I say for football, it was this year, but for wrestling, it was last year. I had a good season, but I've been wrestling since like third or fourth grade. I've never really been too good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, your coach told me you've got a sister that wrestles in college, and for you, I'm sure it's kind of a family affair. How did you get into wrestling as a young child?
I actually made a bet with my cousin in the third grade. I can't remember what the bet was, but I lost, and I had to go to a wrestling room with him, and I've been in ever since.
Yeah. Is it your favorite? I know you're going to play football, and I'm sure you're really excited about that. What's your favorite sport to play?
I honestly don't have a preference between the two.
Yeah. Yeah. For you, talk about this year's team a little bit. What have you seen from this year's team that really stands out for you with not as many numbers here in 6A, but for you guys obviously have placed in the third place in Wichita North in their tournament as a team. What does that say about this year's team from a number standpoint?
I think this year's team, we're definitely trying a lot harder. I think a lot of us after state last year, kind of a wake-up call to next year, got to lock in.
Yeah. Yeah. For you, what's been your favorite memory here at Wichita West? What have you looked back on in your time as maybe a student or an athlete? What do you look back on as one of your favorite memories here?
That's a tough one. I say I like our WrestleMania. Our girls head coach and our guys head coach, they both do a little like WWE type thing to help bring people out to wrestling.
Yeah, that's awesome. When you look back at your career, what was kind of the moment that things clicked for you in your wrestling career when you started to figure things out and feel like you were one of the better wrestlers here in the state?
That was last year and this year. Yeah. last year and this year.
Yeah. What do you need to continue doing well that you've gotten off to such a hot start? Has there been any changes that you've made to maybe your technique or your approach? I mean, what's kind of changed for you? You said that you didn't expect to get off to this kind of start, but for you, what do you kind of need to continue to grow on?
I need to work on my conditioning, but I've changed up my wrestling style a little bit from to not getting under the bigger guys, not shooting on them as much, but yeah.
Yeah. And you talked about not having to cut weight. How nice has it been to just kind of eat whatever you want as in your senior year?
It's been great. It's been great.
Talking about this year's team, what's the team chemistry like? How do you guys go about wrestling? I know is an individual sport, but for you guys as teammates, what do you guys like to do outside of wrestling to kind of keep that team chemistry at a high?
Well, we always hang out with each other, go over to each other's house and stuff. It's always great to it's always great to play a sport with all your friends.
Yeah, and you look at in the professional ranks in wrestling. You mentioned WrestleMania. You guys do something here. Do you watch much WWE or pro wrestling? Just a football guy?
Yeah, just a football and wrestling guy. I'll watch the Olympics sometimes.
Yeah. I was going to ask you who your favorite wrestler is. Do you have a favorite wrestler?
Jordan Burroughs.
Okay, gotcha. And for you, what's something interesting about you that somebody may not know by just looking at you? What's an interesting fact about you? Do you have any interesting hobbies or anything out of the ordinary?
I really like to cook.
Okay. What's your favorite meal to cook?
I like cooking chicken Alfredo.
Okay, gotcha. Are you kind of the cook at home for your family?
Yeah, I cook sometimes, but my sister and my mom do it most.
Gotcha. Well, Chance, congratulations on a great start to this season. Best of luck the rest of the way, and congratulations, you're a high school male athlete of the week.
Thank you.